Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard! Kai Havertz in the Champions League final! Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him, but it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver! Matic takes the net off!
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Happy New Year. It's 2024. Maybe Chelsea will be better this year. They probably won't be. Will probably be worse. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a standard virtual room. All the festive decorations have been taken down. But it's got lions in. They're not wearing anything particular. Nothing festive. Just got Ollie though. Got birth. Got Chris full house. Oh, first Friday show 2024. Wow.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be our year, I think, for Chelsea.
Happy New Year,
Chelsea's year.
Everyone on the pod.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah, nice. I'm feeling more festive-y. It's January. I'm feeling depressed. But what are you looking forward to this weekend?
January.
Yeah, damn right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I forget. We've just talked about my birthday being next week, and you just said January's depressing. Well, cheers. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Both of my parents' birthdays are in January, and my mum's was particularly once on a day called Blue Monday, which was apparently the most depressing day of the year.
Oh, Manchester City's day.
We've had a kick out of that for ages.
What are you looking forward to this weekend, if anything?
No, it's FA Cup weekend is always a bit shit. I think when it's like the third round, fourth round. Yeah.
No,
most
do you know
important cup competition in the world.
I think you're absolutely bang out of order there, Berth. I love FA Cup weekend.
I would not recommend anyone, if they were being introduced to this cup competition, that I do love, watching the game from last night with Palace and Everton, because it was absolutely
the worst game I've ever seen.
I enjoyed that spectacle in a pub, and there was a reason there was a pub quiz going on in the background, because that game was just
football
awful.
heritage.
It was awful. It was just shit, to be fair.
It was honestly genuinely the worst game I've ever seen, and I'm not even exaggerating there.
No. I could not agree more. For me, final weekend of the NFL regular season before playoffs begin. So Steelers at Browns, shout out to Chris there. Not you, Chris. Chris listener. And then Jaguars at Titans on Sunday. So that's my weekend. But
the Seahawks got a shot at the playoffs this year?
We suck. Well, we might win. We've got to win, and then something else happens, and something like that. I've tuned out at the moment. But yeah, particularly. Hey, with that, shall we hit some news? There's stuff happened, and all that. Right, time of the week. We're going to check out the news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea news. Cole Palmer has been shortlisted for the Premier League Goal of the Month award for December. Cole Palmer has been shortlisted for the Premier League Player of the Month award for December. Georgi Petrovic has been shortlisted for the Premier League Save of the Month award for December. Bayern Munich are set to pursue a long-standing interest in Trevor Chalobah. Borussia Dortmund are now in final talks to sign Ian Maatsen. Conor Gallagher is going to refuse any transfer away from the club. Chelsea's owners Bluco have had further talks and want to add clubs in Portugal, Belgium and South America to the multi-group model. And finally, we also have ourselves a brand new sponsor called Bing X. Nothing to do with Bing. We don't even.
And nothing to do with X.
No. There you go. Combine two things. I mean, I'll just grumble when I see crypto. I'm like, oh. But
we all remember Whalefin, don't we?
They didn't last long, did they? What from the news do you think has what's grabbed your attention anyway?
For me, it was the sponsorship one. Like that, it's at least nice to see us like trying to be a bit more proactive with the sponsorships now, because it took us a really long time to get a front of shirt sponsor.
This would be a training kit, wouldn't it? So,
didn't they say it was going to be the sleeve sponsor, and then it's become the training kit sponsor from next season or something? Because that means. But what that does make me sad is that Trivago are on their way out.
Yeah, exactly.
I really rate Trivago, and I thought they were a really good sponsor of ours. They stuck by us when a lot of other companies left us during the sanctions and things.
Yep.
So I really rate Trivago.
And do remember that the money that we're getting from this deal will pay for one of the amortization payments for Enzo Fernandez next year. So it's all wins.
Wow.
Huge wins. What about you, Chris? Anything from news related?
I think the Gallagher turning down moves away was quite interesting. That's quite a sort of power play.
I thought it was expected.
Yeah, but I think it's a real sort of power play in it from his side, saying that he really doesn't want to go. Like most players,
well, his stock's never been higher, right?
Even if players want to stay, normally if a club starts accepting bids, they do eventually go. I just think it's quite a testament to his character, really, and how much he actually really wants to be at Chelsea to say, no, I'm not leaving, even if you want to sell me. If I have to play out the rest of the season, and I will. Fair play to him. I still don't understand how people can dislike him.
I know,
and rightfully so as well, because with a lot of the contract talks and things like that, he's saying, no, I will just stay and I will leave for free, and that is the risk that you take. So you should be trying to work with me here, which is the right thing to do. He's trying to make it work.
I mean, on Gallagher, the ownership seem to want to sell it, Conor, because 12 months left on his contract. But hold on, look, Conor's here. He wants to stay. The club's trying to give him the boot in a way, and he's like, no. I mean, it just sort of blows my mind, because I'm sort of wondering now, where are these contract negotiations? It's pretty straightforward. I mean, come on, let's get this sorted out. It's not rocket science. He wants to stay. He's loved by the fans. His contract's coming. Get it done. Come on.
With the club now, that it's obviously on their side that they're holding off, because 100%. I can't imagine he'd be haggling too much if he wants to stay that much, that he would turn down moves in January.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing full well that he might be without a club in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously the club aren't offering him anything. So it's a really strange one, because I just think when you watch us play, you can see how important he is, and we've got much worse players on much longer contracts. So I don't understand.
Yes.
It's not like a risk thing. They're being a bit cautious, because we've took a lot of risks with our.
You're not thinking about
our
the
contracts.
pure profit.
Yeah, what a load of bollocks that is. We've got other players we could sell. I mean, Maatsen, like you just said, is going to be one of them.
Maatsen and Chalobah are both going, probably.
Yeah,
so
and
that's a lot of
I'd get rid of as well.
What
I mean? So there's other players who could go.
Interesting on here, Maatsen. I mean, heading towards Dortmund. Well, look, it does make some sense, I reckon, because there's no clear path for him at the club, and we might as well cash in whilst the market's hot for him.
I think he'll be good there. It'll be one of those where he'll go and perform, and people say we should never have sold him or what have you. But at present, we're not really missing him either. So...
I mean, even with a couple of our left backs nursing injuries, he's not getting in the starting 11. It is a shame because of how he was in pre-season. But look, in this business, you just got to make the decision, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. He'll be sold, because we've got one of those 12-month Man United extensions that we can trigger. I feel like that's probably appropriate.
If nothing else, though, Gallagher staying almost Gallagher choosing to stay confirms Maatsen and Chalobah are off, right? Because we need the money for it. So.
Yeah, probably. Hey, it's quiet news week. I mean, that's going to ramp right up, isn't it, as we head into January? But for the first time in 2024, we are going to be ranking our top 15 players at Chelsea based on how important they are to this club right now. The last time we did this, back in November, two of us had Palmer tops. One had Sterling, one had Thiago Silva. I wonder who's going to remain there. We'll see who's climbed, who's fallen. Any new entries? Ooh, let's find out. I'll be honest straight away. The middle of the pack for me is relatively the same. Nothing really dramatic, because I don't really know who shifts. It's a hard one.
Mine changed quite a lot.
Mine changed.
I've got three new players in mine too.
Oh, well, that's a good start. I mean,
I've got two.
I'm not going to moan, but so I will start with number
15.
And it's even
No,
better.
Yes, it's Ollie's
Wow.
favourite parts. But
It gets better. It gets better because we have.
New entry.
I've got at 15 Alfie Gilchrist because he's made 2 cameos. He's brought a spark of passion to the pitch, and he's in at 15 because we kind of needed that energy boost in the second half of games. And I want to see if he keeps that fire alive. We did a vote as well if he should start against Preston. Overwhelmingly, yes, is what the listeners have said. So I don't think anyone's going to complain. I put him in at 15.
No,
So-
I think he just missed out for me, but only barely. So I think that's it. That seems about right.
It's how the charts work, you know. Let's go with what it is on the Google sheet. We've got Berth, Chris, and Ollie. So, Berth, who's your 15?
So before it was Sanchez, but I'm going to replace him
Oh,
with a new entry,
cool.
and that's Petrovic.
Oh,
For the simple fact is, really impressive him. Incredible saves against Luton. I think his distribution is way better than Sanchez. I think he brings an air of calm to that back line, whereas whenever Sanchez has the ball at his feet, he scares me. I don't think Sanchez has done anything terribly wrong. He's made a few hiccups here and there. I don't think he's been that bad. I think he's actually been all right. But for me, I think Petrovic's ceiling is just higher. And I feel more calm with him in goal. So he's number 15.
Okay. Chris, who have you got?
well, I had Cucurella before. He's dropped out. And I've got a new entry too. And I've got Madueke.
Oh.
I think he's shown in the past few games sort of what we thought he might be after the back end of last season, but then like he struggled to get in under Poch. But I do think there is a player in there with Madueke. I think he showed it at the back end of last season, and he started to show it now. Poch has given him a chance to actually play. And I hope it continues, because when you watch him play for the under-21s especially, and he does have that good relationship with Palmer, I think he could really kick on if he keeps getting game time.
Yeah, 2 games, 2 impressive performances. So that's pretty fair. What about you, Ollie?
So I actually, me and Chris are like-minded, because I went with Madueke as well. I
My man.
Last time out, I had Reece James in there. Nani just sneaks in for me on his last couple of performances for this time. Been really impressed with his attitude more than anything else. You know, he didn't sulk when he was dropped. He just put his head down, worked hard, and now he's reaping the benefits of it. And for me, he deserves to be playing on a more regular basis going forward. So well done, that man.
Oh, I mean, funnily enough, as we hit to
Number 14.
we have
New entry.
from me, Madueke. I've said what I need to say. So yeah, I'm
He's your
happy he's my man. He's very important all of a sudden, and I'm very happy he's there. So welcome to our rankings. Berth, what have you got?
So yeah, last time I had Cucurella. He's actually dropped out, and number 14 is Nani Madueke as well.
Oh wow, nice.
Birds of
He's done well.
He's done really well.
Yes, for all the reasons that you lads have said, to be fair, he's been really impressive, actually. He's been direct. He's actually been everything that we haven't been this season. That's clinical, threatening. He always looks to make things happen. And his attitude has been fantastic, to be fair, past couple of games. And even to take that penalty the other day to win us the game, I thought showed a lot of character. And yeah, he just sneaks in there for me. I think he has been a bit of a game changer for us. So yeah, he has to be number 14.
Chris.
Well, I had Chilwell last time, and he's dropped out of mine now because he's just been injured too much. So I've got Colwill down at 14. I don't think he's not a left back.
No,
and
100%.
he's not overly impressive there, but I haven't been overly impressed with him the times he's played centre back either. I just, for all the hype he had in the summer, I just don't think he's really grasped his opportunity. And I don't know, with other players coming in, the rumours of bringing in a centre back, and if Fofana comes back from injury, I just don't know whether Colwill is ever going to be the player that everyone thought he was going to be.
Okay, Ollie.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
What are you rocking, Ollie, at 14?
Number 14, I've got probably the biggest fall in my list since last time. I had him at 3rd last time out. It's Raheem Sterling.
Oh, that is wow. Wow, that's wild. That is wild, Ollie.
That is wild.
it's a big fall. I understand, but he's not scoring as much. He's not affecting the game as much. His defensive work rate annoys me, and I considered dropping him out of the list entirely after the Wolves chance alone. But when he has a good game, it can be the difference between winning and losing. And not many of our players do affect games in that way. So that's why I didn't want to drop him out completely. But yeah, because his performances when they are good are really commendable. But we're just not seeing enough of them at the moment where he really affects the performance.
Oh, fair enough.
Wow.
I've got Reece James down from 5. He's not just out of the top 5.
That's a fall.
Well,
he dropped out entirely for me.
With Gusto sort of stepping up, I'm starting to think we might be able to cope without James on a consistent basis. I mean, we've sort of grown accustomed to these injury cycles. I hope the hamstring surgery solves that. But right now, he's still important, hence why he's 13. But he's not as important as I thought he might have been because Gusto's come in and done well. So that's why he's there.
That's fair.
So,
fair.
Berth.
So 13. Last time was Disassi. This time, I'm going to swap him with Badiashile. It was my number 11 last time. Disassi, for me, drops out just on the basis that I think he's looked really shaky. I just feel that, like, of the two, him and Badiashile, I do think Badiashile's sitting in his higher, and I think he is more, again, talk about calmness at the back. I think Badiashile is better than Disassi in that sense. I think Badiashile is a great defender. I think he's not in a great run of form, but I think he's a great defender. And I think with a good run of games, he'll get back his confidence back. And I just feel that he's important to us. But he's just in a bit of a bad run of form at the minute. So he's my number 13.
He was in at my 12th spot last time. He's not even in my top 15 now.
Wow.
I know. Hey, I didn't say I was right. I just said I did the rankings. Chris.
So I had Mudryk last time, and this time I'm going to go with Disassi.
Oh.
I think he started well, and I think he's just sort of fading away. I still think he's decent, Disassi. I don't think he's as bad as some people make him out to be.
I think he's all right.
Yeah, he's nowhere near as bad as people make him out.
No. My main issue with not really him, it's not his fault, but we've spent money on a guy who's not really a massive upgrade, if an upgrade at all, on Chalobah. He reminds me a lot of Chalobah in the way that he plays.
Agree,
they're very similar, so it just seemed like it's just a bit of a wasted transfer. Don't think he's.
I think that remains to be seen on what we sell Chalobah for, though.
Yeah, true. But he's not that good either.
No, that's true.
Ollie.
Number 13. I think I'm taking scalps today. I got Enzo. Enzo dropped a few places for me.
Stop. Everybody stop. Right. Can we just point out that everyone thinks I hate Enzo and I've got him higher than Ollie. So let's turn the guns away from me.
Listen, if people want to come after someone for Enzo takes, just come after me.
Wow.
Chris has had enough of it. But yeah, it drops 2 places for me. I had him in 11th last time out, so he's 13th this time. His injury sort of coming in and out of the side a bit hasn't helped him. I think he could benefit from a bit more time on the sideline to help him, but injuries are kind of left him pressed into service at times, and I feel bad for him for that. But I need to see more from Enzo. I need goals or assists from you, boss. You know, I'm just not really seeing it yet. I think Enzo and Poch both struggle with where he should ideally play, and he struggled more than most under Poch, right? I'm not saying he isn't good, because we know he is, but we're just not seeing it enough.
Interesting, because the fact that Chris has charted him higher, you know, Chris is
fucker, but you clever fucker.
He's got away. Interestingly though, when I hit 12,
number 12,
I have Enzo there down from 8. There's a reasoning. I need more from him. He's important. He is important, yes, but he drops because I feel that others have shone brighter. And yeah, I want to see more. He is important, drops 4 places because we just have other players who have performed better and are more important at this moment to, you know, what we're hoping to build. So that's kind of just why he's there. It's not a detriment on him. I hope to see he's back end of the season. He's going to be incredible. That's what I'd love to see. So what about you, Berth?
I I haven't got Enzo in at 12, but I have got his midfield partner in Caicedo at number 12.
Okay.
Wow.
I had Nkunku last time. I got Caicedo this time. Not saying he's been bad or anything. He's been all right, but £100 million for a midfielder that I don't think has at the moment changed anything for us. I think he's been very rash at times. I think he has had a good game, but you talk about needing more from a player. I need more from Caicedo. I need to see him really change us. And when N'Golo Kante came in for us, we were a better team immediately. When Caicedo comes in for us, I don't think he makes us necessarily better. And that's what I want for him, because he's a great player and he has had some good games for us, and he's been influential, but he's too inconsistent at the minute for me to put him in the top 10. So yeah, he's number 12.
Chris?
That's fair. I've got Petrovic in at 12. I had Colwill there last time, but he's dropped, obviously. So Petrovic is another new entry for me. I still don't think he's the elite level goalkeeper that I would want, but he's come in and he's done the job well so far, and I don't think you can argue with that. And he could be one of those that flourishes throughout this season and then goes on to be that elite level keeper that we're looking for, because he has got all the attributes to do it, and I just hope he continues to play well.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say signed by Arsenal at the end of his career, like most really good Chelsea players are. What about you, Ollie?
In 12th, I've got Levi Colwill. He drops a fair few for me. He was 7th out last time. He's 12th now. I don't like him at left back. That's not his fault. He's doing his bit for the team. It's valuable experience defending wide against some of the better wingers in the Prem, but he's wasted out there. He's a centre back. I know it's a functional 3 sometimes, but a lot of the time it's not. And he's expected to bomb down the wing like a fullback would. And he's a centre back. Play him at centre back. I don't care who you have to play at left back. Just play him at centre back.
100%.
But other than that, I've not really been impressed with some of the goals we conceded on his side. And again, work rate, it's so basic. But as a defender, I need you to be sprinting back instead of jogging when the opponents have got a chance. He's not the only one, and it's not all the time, but it drives me mad. Stop doing it. He's had a few good games, but I just want to see more from him.
Interesting, because
number 11,
up from 13, I've got Ben Chilwell. Hang on, why the jump? Well, are you excited about his return? Could he be a starter? Bingo. There you go. That's why he's there.
I think he's the main course, Mikey.
I mean, Cole will then get shifted to centre back. He won't be, because Poch will go, how about a left-sided centre back or left whilst Ben Chilwell's on the wing back? Yeah, of course he will.
He'll just play Silver and the Sassy, won't he?
Yeah, of course he will.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll cry. But what about you, Berth?
Right. So we are at number 11, aren't we?
We are.
11. Yeah. I'm going to go with Malo Gusto at number 11.
I think that's harsh on Gusto,
Yeah. Well, he weren't even in my top 15 last time.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. That's quite a jump then.
I mean, I'll be honest, Ollie, just shut up and let me talk. That's what I'll say, Ollie.
Wow.
But yeah, I think he's coming.
The interesting thing about a shut the fuck up, Berth. That's right.
You know what, Ollie? Not even going to raise my voice to you. I'm just going to talk about Malo Gusto. He deserves my airtime, okay? Malo Gusto being fantastic. Really done well since coming in for Reece James. I keep forgetting how young he is. He's got a really bright future.
Yeah.
Fantastic going forward. The game the other week that he had against Sheffield United, I thought it was fantastic. Probably the best player on the pitch. And I think he will only get better and better, because Reece James is going to be out for a long time now, so he's going to get a run of games. And yeah, he's my number 11. So yeah, fuck you, Ollie.
Chris, what have you
got? I had this player in 7th last time, so it's a bit of a drop. Badia Shield.
Oh.
There's just something about it. He keeps making individual mistakes now, which I don't think we've seen from him before. He didn't always stand out as like an outstanding defender, but he was always solid and didn't really do anything wrong. He sort of had them games where you didn't notice him, which is exactly what you want from a defender. But I think this season he has made some really bad individual mistakes, and he just looks really unsure of himself. I think a lot of that could be playing with Colwill at left back, though, who might not know what he's doing. It might be hard. I think it could be hard on Badiashile to play next to Colwill. He's not a natural left back. So I would like to see him with an actual left back in there. And I do think he'll get better. I think next time we do this, I think he'll probably go up again. But at the minute, I can't put him any higher than 11th.
What about you, Ollie?
11th for me is Disasi. He continues the centre-back trend. Drops 2 places. I think I had him in 9th last time. Just too many individual errors. He's another one kind of being shoehorned out wide at times, but more often than not, he is in his natural position. And he has the bozo gene. He occasionally just switches off. Concentration needs to be a New Year's resolution for him. But, he's still 11th in the list. He's been solid mostly. I just want to see him iron out his mistakes. And I've also seen a little bit less leadership from him as well. I really need him, as one of the older players in the squad to take charge a bit. And he was before, and now he isn't as much. So I'm not sure what's changed.
My next 10, 9, and 8 are literally so quick. They're literally 10.
Number 10.
Mudryk, down from 9. He drops a spot just because others have proven more crucial to the squad. That is it. That's all it is. That's all it's cost him. So what about you, Berth?
So my number 10 is Nicholas Jackson. Last time it was Chilwell. This time it's Nicholas Jackson, who, for some reason, I didn't even put him at 15 last time, but I think he has his critics. I think harshly sometimes. I don't think he's as bad as some of the strikers we've seen at Stamford Bridge. He works hard. He's versatile, can play across the front line. 7 Premier League goals isn't a bad return in your first season. I think when he's on it, he's a real handful. It's just that consistency again. He's still very young. So yeah, I'm going to put him number 10.
All right. What about you, Chris?
I've got the same player I had last time, Enzo. I didn't particularly rate what he was doing when we first did the list, and I don't rate him any more or less now. I just know what he is. So.
Exactly. So Chris has tried to put the blame on me for earlier, but actually he never rated Enzo in the first place.
Depending on what Berth goes with, Chris has rated Enzo the highest out of this entire podcast. So yeah,
exactly. Just saying, there's no agendas here. I just judge what I see.
What about you, Ollie? Who's at 10?
Oh, sorry, no, Enzo, finish Chris by all means.
No, I was done. I don't, like I said, I don't rate him any higher or lower than I did back then.
That's fair enough. I suppose there's not much to elaborate on there. 10th for me is continuing my trend again of centre backs. It's the third one in a row for me. It's Big Benoit. He's back, baby, and he balls beautifully. I originally wanted to have him higher, but his recent errors mean 10th for me is as high as I can reasonably put him, even as shameless as I can be with him. 99% of the time, I think he's flawless, absolute Rolls Royce. And I maintain, other than Silva, he's our best defender, and it's not close to third. This man could play a full 90 in a 3-piece suit. He's so smooth. He's my favourite player in the squad, and I can't wait to see him climb up this list in the future.
All right. So,
number 9.
Down from 4, Sterling. He's still a top player.
I think that's harsh still.
But
really harsh.
I'm with you here, Berth. I am with you.
You know why? It's the inconsistency. It's just so wild. Sometimes
that's
he's
the same
really
of
good.
all our players.
Yeah.
Hey! I said my
he's different.
middle.
He's supposed to be held to a higher.
I said
standard.
my middle ground of this list was going to be a bit out there. So hey, I've said it.
Yeah.
What have you got, Berth, at 9?
My number 9 is Reece James. Dropped from last time it was Mudryk, that was my number 9. Reece James is number 5. James has gone down 4 places. I just think with his injuries, he can never get a run of form going, never get a run of consistency going. I can't put him any higher. He's a fantastic right back, probably one of the best in the world when he plays, but I can't put him any higher just because of his injuries, and it's a shame. And he's captain, and he's barely plays, and I can't justify putting him above 9th place. So yeah, that's my reasoning.
No, fair. Chris.
So I've got another new entry at number 9. And ironically replacing someone in my top 15 who plays the same position. So I've got Gusto, who replaces Reece James. And I think that's quite apt, as I think he's going to replace Reece James anyway. I think Gusto's proved himself to be more than an adequate backup. I think actually to call him a backup to Reece James now is a little bit of a slap in the face to him. I think he's better than that. He's shown that he's more than capable of being our starting right back. Reece James' injury problems, even after the surgery, I'm not convinced they're going to go away. And I think James's performances over the last year haven't been as good as people think anyway. Mainly down to never playing, probably. But I think Gusto's come in and he really adds something to our attack that I think James doesn't. He makes a lot of runs off the ball. The goal we scored a couple of weeks ago where he started the attack at right back and ended up at left wing to put the cross in for Mudryk. James doesn't do that. James would never move across the pitch like that after starting an attack. He just stays where he is. I think Gusto's a lot more dynamic, and I think that actually is better for the modern game.
Ollie, who you got?
Number 9, Caicedo for me, up 2 places. Been impressed with him recently. I think he's actually doing a hell of a job in midfield at times, and his performances have actually grown in quite a lot in a short time. I think he started really poorly, so maybe it's a bit relative because he started really poorly and he's gotten a lot better since. But I'd love to see him go forward a bit more because I think it's actually an underrated part of his game. You know, he has some goal threat. You know, he scored they scored an offside goal against Spurs, and he's made some really nice passes as well. You know, to break the lines and start attacks for us. For Moyes, it's quite simple. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be fine. Just try and keep the reckless challenges to a minimum.
Number 8.
I've got Caicedo there up from 11 because he's quietly doing his job. He's quietly climbing up the charts. Consistency here is key. Let's hope he continues with that. That's pretty much that, really. Berth.
Berth, you there?
Berth has muted his mic for some reason.
Berth is dead.
I will just turn to Chris and say, Chris, drop yours in.
No,
Berth is there. Oh, hello.
Sorry. Wow. That never happens. That's really
amateurish.
Just terrible.
Right, I'll go back to it. Ollie, shut the fuck up. Right.
Wow.
We're at number 8, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah. To be fair, it wouldn't even like my number 8's the same. It's Levi Colwill. You can move on to Chris.
Chris,
I'm not even going to say anything.
Chris.
So I've got Caicedo as well. He's dropped from number 6 to number 8 in my list. I think he's done okay. I think the thing with Caicedo, and this isn't his fault again, same with Enzo really, that when you spend £100 million on players, they should come in and be better than the ones you had before. And I don't think our midfield looks any better than it did with Jorginho and Kovacic in it. It looks exactly the same. But we still have games where they get run through too easy, and we have games where they play really well. Jorginho and Kovacic was doing that for the past 3 years before that. So I just don't think they've improved us enough, and I need to see more improvement from Caicedo in terms of being a defensive midfielder, if that's what he's going to be made to do, even though I just don't think he should be playing that role. But
all right.
Number 7, new entry,
Georgi Petrovic. There he is. Ollie is. No,
hard.
we're gonna rewind. Spoilers.
Mikey, come
Spoilers.
on.
Ollie, who's yours?
No, Mikey.
It's Chris's fault. It's Berth's fault for joining. Muting his mic.
I'll say it again.
We haven't missed
Amateurs.
We haven't missed anyone out.
In eighth, I've got Petrovic. Big Georgie the Albatross. He's been I've been thoroughly impressed with Petrovic since he's come in. I think he's at the very least a strong option to have in goal. Personally, I want him to retain his starting place. That save versus Luton alone, Newcastle in the penalty shootout as well. He's done a lot actually in a short time, and I feel like he's really grabbed his opportunity. We said after Sheffield, when he had to play his first game and he didn't really face any difficulty, calm on the hype, give him time, give him the chance to prove it before you praise him. And now he is proving it. So, one up for the pod because we were right. I'm much happier having him in the sticks than Sanchez, who has actually failed to make my list 2 rankings in a row. And we do love a Serb at the bridge, don't we?
Yeah, Ivanovic. That straight away is a iconic, remembered name.
Matic too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mateo Kesman as well. So Petrovic is a sky-high entry just because he's making top-class saves to keep us in the game. And right now he's the only guardian of our goal. And losing him would be like unplugging the TV. We'd be screwed. So he's a true top keeper. I'm happy we've got him. And who have you got at number 7, Berth?
I've got Nkunku at 7. He's last time I had Caicedo. Last time I had Nkunku at 12, just because obviously he hadn't played a game. Now he has played a game. He's played a couple, scored one, and only started one game, so come off the bench a fair bit. And I'm impressed with him, but again, I can't justify putting him any higher. You can tell he's class. Scored a really good goal against Wolves. Played well against Sheffield United. I just can't put him any higher than 7 because he hasn't played as much. I'm sure at the end of the season, if we do it again, he'll probably be top 5, no doubt. But again, I can't just quite put him in that top 6, top 5 bracket because of the games he's played.
What about you, Chris?
In number 7, I have got Mudryk. I think he's been good this season, Mudryk. Started over the past few weeks to show that he has got talent and he is definitely improving. And I think Poch is getting something more out of him, but he's still inconsistent. He's still the thing with Mudryk. If he's really good in the first half, it seems like you might as well take him off because in the second half he doesn't do anything. It's a theme I've noticed with him that he hasn't strung together a full 90 minutes or 80 minutes, however long, until he gets subbed off normally. And I just think he needs to do that to be higher on my list at the minute.
Ollie?
At number 7, I've got Malo Gusto. Gusto, you might think this is an insult. I had him at 4th last time out. And it's not that he's been poor or his performances have dropped. Other players have just stepped up. I think it was a bit like you said earlier, Mikey. I think other players have just proved more crucial in their performances.
Fair.
He was injured for a bit as well, so he's not played as much. So, but I'm really happy with Gusto at right back and left back as well when he's filled in. He's continued to be decent to good in most games, which is actually what you really want in a fullback. You need that consistency, and he's one of the few players actually we have in the squad who largely seems to be consistent. He's only 20 as well, so to be performing at the standard he is unbelievable. Things to improve on for sure, especially going forward, I'd say. But overall, I'm really happy with him, and he's a really good example of how our recruitment has improved.
Yeah. So
number 6,
up from 7, Nicholas Jackson. He's gone up one place for me purely because when he plays on that wing, he's usually better for us. He's not. I don't think he's going to be our out and out forward. But I do think we might just miss him quite a lot during this month whilst he's away at AFCON. It's like when you lose the TV remote. At first you think, we'll cope. And then you think, nah, we're fucked. We need that. We need him. So hopefully we don't miss him too much. But, I think we might. So, yeah. Berth, who have you got at 6?
Well, he's been a bit of a controversial topic on this podcast so far, but my number 6 is Enzo Fernandez, which is the same as last time.
That's ridiculous.
Wow, that's high.
Okay. Well,
wow.
Right.
Where did you have him before, Berth?
6.
I mean, that was too high there as well.
Bloody hell, wow.
There it is, Chris. He can't help it. He's got a twist the knife in.
Okay, wow.
Wow. What about you, Chris? Who have you got at 6?
I've got Nicholas Jackson at 6. I think he's actually more important than we think. I said the other on Monday's pod, I don't think there's anyone at the minute could name 5 better strikers who are having a better season than Jackson is. So that shows that he hasn't been that bad. If you can't name 5 strikers in the Premier League who are having a better season than him, I just think our expectation levels have been set way too high. Well, I think we're all just craving that world-class Diego Costa again forward. And Jackson was never going to be that. But if you judge him for what he actually is, then he's actually done a more than decent job for us.
That's fair. Ollie?
People might think this is a bit high, but Nkunku comes in for me at number 6, and he makes it onto my list for the first time. I didn't want to have him in until he played. Well, he's played. And from what I've seen, he really looks like the difference maker, in attack for a team that struggles to finish its chances. Even in the short time that we've seen him, he looks a cut above. The whole system as well seems built around him. And we played better as a unit when we went back to our preseason style as well. So I have no doubt he's going to be an important player for us.
Right, top 5.
Number 5.
Up from 14, I've got Gusto because he's just quietly evolving into a top tier first teamer. And yes, he's 20.
That's a big jump, that.
I know, he's just 20, but he plays like a seasoned pro at times. And I feel that we're fortunate to have him, especially for the price that we paid. Because right now, if he's playing like that, he's not in that bracket. He's a lot more. Maybe add 20 million based on the current and then you see it's Chelsea knocking at your door and you go, let's add another 30 million. So yeah, who's in your top 5 now, Chris? Berth.
So 5 last time was James. Now it's Mudryk. Mudryk is at 9 last time, so it's a big jump 4 places. I think if you was to ask any defender in the league who on his day would scare the absolute shit out of them, it'd be Mikhailo Mudryk, just for his pace, and he's slowly getting better. It is slowly, but he is getting there. Past 2-3 games, I've been really impressed by him. The inconsistency is still there, but he's getting goals, he's getting assists, he's getting his confidence, and when he runs at players now, you can tell the defenders are scared. And with his pace, I think he's the only player in the team that I'd say, on his day, on his absolute best, he's the only player that is unplayable in that team at the moment. Yeah. Okay. I think you could argue Palmer as well, but I think they're different sort of players. But for me, I think recent performances have made him jump up to 5.
All right. What about you, Chris?
So at 5, I've got someone who's actually fell 3 places. Thiago Silva.
Wow.
You horrible bastard. You horrible bastard.
Oh, man.
Simply because I think even with Silva in the defence, we are still conceding far too many goals. So although we would be conceding a ridiculous amount without him, we are still conceding loads with him. So it's not like he's making a massive difference at the minute. We're letting in too many goals.
That's the thing.
I need to jump
really
in. I've got to jump in and reveal my number 3 because that is Thiago Silva, and he's up from 4. And I'll counter Chris's point here because someone told me without Silva we'd be in a relegation battle, and I did chuckle because I thought that's bollocks. And then I pondered it, and I thought, how many times has he bailed us out with his reads of the game and leadership? That's why he's there.
Luton alone, he had like 12 clearances.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason reason we won that game.
That is all very true, but we are still conceding a shit ton of goals with him in the team.
We'd be doing worse without him.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes you the most important player in the team.
Ollie, who have you got at 5?
5 for me is Nicholas Jackson. It jumps up 7 places for me from 12th to 5th. He's gotten far too much stick as of late. Top scorer, missed chances. Yes, absolutely. Scored at a rate better than any forward since Costa. Also, absolutely. He's leading the line. He's done a decent to good job. He uses his body so well. I know people say he's better out wide, but I'm thinking the minority that thinks he should actually be an out-and-out centre forward. I think his close control and his intelligence on how to use his frame.
I agree with you, Ollie.
It makes him really suited to it, I think, in the long term. And I want to see 3 things from Jackson in 2024. 1, miss a bit less. 2, learn to use his head. And 3, stop getting booked for things that aren't fouls. Criticise him for that, but, I don't feel like you can actually criticise him for his play. And all I'm going to say on Jackson is wait and see what happens as he's gone over January. He's going to AFCON. We'll see. Yeah. I think people are going to be crying out for him by the end of the month.
Number 4.
I have Nkunku because he's up from 15 because he's made a climb because his link-up play with Palmer and the squad's top-notch. He's a team player. He looked the only competent player when we played I can't remember which game it was. He could pick any game. But he just stands out. And I think he's not going to play tomorrow because of some probably an injury in our squad. So yeah,
I think it is. I think there was a slight issue. So
I saw that Leslie Ugochukwu was going to be out for 6 weeks because of something, and Lavia's got a bruise on his mum. I'm like, this is just standard for us now, unfortunately. Who have you got at 4, Berth?
So 4 last time was Conor Gallagher. This time around, it's Raheem Sterling. So he's dropped 2 places. He was second last time. So I think he's really important for us. I still think he's arguably our best attacker. I think he's he gives you something that we haven't got. He's quick. He makes late runs into the box. Other than the finish against Wolves, I think he's a very good finisher. And I do think he's very important. Yes, he's inconsistent, but so are all of our attackers. But he's experienced as well, and that's the main thing. I think we need him in the team.
I know, but that Wolves chance
because of his experience,
my blood, man. It just boils it.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I know you boil my blood, but you know, Sterling's fourth.
He loves me, really, folks.
What have you got, Chris?
I've got losing top spot from last time.
No,
I've also got Raheem Sterling.
Oh, he was your top spot. Oh,
he was.
I
think I agree with everything Berth just said. I think people do forget in the Wolves game that before that horrendous finish or decision, however way you look at it, he was our best player in that game. So
yeah,
I don't think that
got an assist as well.
Yeah, I don't think that should really just define how you look at him that one moment. But I still think he's going to be crucial. He will have more of an effect on the game consistently over 90 minutes than Mudryk does at the moment. And I think that's why he gets in my top 4.
Ollie?
That's a really good segue because on to number 4 for me, it's Mudryk. He was 6th last time. He's 4th now. Most improved award. Ukraine Bolt has continued to impress for me. Looks like one of our most dynamic attackers. Decision making needs work, absolutely no doubt, but I have full faith in Mudryk to realise his own massive potential. I genuinely don't worry about him at all because he's got the attitude to keep working hard and earn his keep. You know, he will succeed. He's contributing more to the team, and as I keep saying, every time he's not on the pitch, the attack is worse. I can't explain it. Call it Poch's lemon powers. I don't know, but what I do know is that I rate Misha very highly, and I think he'll continue to get even better as the season goes on.
Okay,
and it's his birthday today as well. So happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday, Mudryk.
The greatest gift of all, being placed at number 4 on my ranking.
my top 3 has been with it. We've got silver at 3, and my top 2 is easy. I've got 5 words for each one. So, Berth, what have you got at 3?
This is where it's really hard. Last time, it was Palmer. Palmer was 3rd last time. This time, it's Conor Gallagher who's moved up 1 space. Been so impressed with him. The top 3 tomatoes you could put either one, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and I wouldn't be mad. But for me, Gallagher just misses out because at the start of the season, I did write him off a bit, but he's continuously proven me wrong. I still think he can be quite rash at times, but other than that, he's been arguably our best player this season. He runs at midfield. He is so energetic. He's very selfless. You know, he'll get a yellow card here and there. He's got a touch of class about him. People say he's got no technical ability. He has. He's got loads. He's unbelievable. I think he's irreplaceable. And make no mistake about it, he's a far better captain than Reece James. And for me, I think he should be Chelsea captain from now on. And if we sell him, it's a massive mistake.
All right. Well, we'll run through these quickly. So we've got Chris. Who have you got at 3?
I've got Nkunku because this is most important to the squad list.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I don't have to see his performances to know how important he is. Poch has basically built his entire system around him.
Yeah.
That's why we've been shit without him because he doesn't know what he's doing without
him and Chukwuemeka, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think Nkunku has shown in the glimpses that he's been on the pitch that he will be our best player. His intelligence, his game intelligence and decision making is above everyone else. That includes Cole Palmer. I just think he when he comes on the pitch, he instantly made all his teammates look better, and that's a massive plus for a player.
Ollie, who have you got?
I sort of did the opposite of what Chris did. Sorry, I'm about to cough. Hang on.
Anticipation.
I did the opposite.
Amateur, absolute amateur, by the way. Ollie.
Giving myself for it, you bastard! Right. I did the opposite of what Chris did. Because I've gone from silver from 5th up to 2nd.
Okay.
You know, he's just the legendary, perennial, the timeless. You know, the original Rolls Royce with tinted windows and a chauffeur. It's so monster himself. Thiago Silva. What can you say about him that hasn't already been said? You know, he's incredible. He's the man that told Father Time to sod off, and he did. You know, it's a testament to the player and the person he is that he's still playing at the top level at this age, but also being as high up in this ranking as it is. As we know, this is a prestigious system. He's absolutely incredible. And I just hope he keeps defying the laws of nature for ages yet to come.
You know what? We're in the top 2, so we'll just reel them off. And mine are pretty straightforward.
Number 1.
Nothing's changed. I've got Gallagher at 2. Do not sell him. And Palmer. There you go. That's why I've got him. I can't change him. What have you got, Berth? Top 2.
2. So it's changed slightly. Last time 2 was Sterling. This time my number 2, falling 1 from top spot, is Thiago Silva. Still our best defender. Still unbelievable. Yeah. Still my probably favourite signing ever for Chelsea. And then number 1 is Cole Palmer, who's up for third. At the start of the season, I'm sure none of us expect him to be this good. He's phenomenal. He's our most creative player. He's our best passer. Arguably our best finisher now. He's our most composed player. And this kid is just going to get better and better. What bargain, to be honest with you. And we need to build a team around
Chris.
him as well.
So in second, I've got trading places with Thiago Silva, Conor Gallagher. We can't play without him. The midfield looks horrendous when he's not there. I think he does so much work that people don't necessarily see in terms of recovering second balls that look like nothing but would be really important for stopping counter-attacks. I think he's a lot better on the ball than people give him credit for. I mean, this whole notion that he's got no technical ability is just absolute bollocks because he plays the same passes that any of our other midfielders do. He might not be any better than them, but he's no worse either. They all play the same passes. So I don't understand where that comes from. And I agree with Berth. He should be captain from now on. And then at number 1, I've got Cole Palmer. Mainly because Cole Palmer is something that I think we've lacked for years.
Absolutely.
He's an attacker who doesn't have to have a great game to affect the game.
Yep.
There's been times where he scored a goal when he actually hasn't been playing very well. And that's what you need. You need attackers who can still be effective even on a bad day. And Cole Palmer is that. He can score a goal or make a goal out of nothing. He doesn't have to be involved in the game all the time. And that is invaluable, especially for a team that's been starved of good attackers for a decade.
What have you got, Ollie?
So I realised I said Thiago Silva from 5th to 2nd last time. He was 5th to 3rd. In second, I have Conor Gallagher. It's going to be the same as you guys. Gallagher 2 and Palmer as 1. He's consistently outperforming his colleagues in midfield. Is Gallagher? Does the system cater to him? Maybe, but is he the one working hard enough to make the system cater to him? Making the manager cater the system around him. Also, he deserves to be here, and at least for now, he deserves to stay here. Performances. He's had a couple drop, sort of slightly less good performances as of late, but he's still been absolutely unbelievable this season.
100%.
He wants to stay, and he should. And then Palmer at number 1, best player this season, hands down. Such a young age, he's just running the attack, scoring goals, getting assists. He's playing with confidence. But why shouldn't 100%. He retains top spot for me. He's made a massive difference. He's come in and straight away and performed, and that's so refreshing to see. He's not been perfect, nobody has, but he has been really, really good. It's ice in his veins. He's given his opponents hypothermia. Long may his reign continue.
I'll be curious to see where the rankings change at the end of the season. So with that, line of the week, we're looking at Preston North End. We're welcoming them to the Bridge in a huge third round cup tie. So who are we choosing?
Gilchrist. I want Gilchrist. I'm taking him early.
Why not?
You can pick him as well,
I don't think he's.
That'd be awful if he didn't.
Okay, I'll go Broja.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna Broja.
Oh God, that's brave.
I went with him recently and regretted it immensely.
Same. Chris,
I'll go with Sterling.
I'm going for the roulette wheel as always. Is it going to be a player that is actually physically able to play?
I think you've improved since you started using
Badia Shield. Badia Shield. Is he injured?
Isn't he out? He's got to summon.
He's a Chelsea
not
player.
playing,
Of course,
I
he's
don't
injured. I don't, you know.
Doesn't they call it the squad rank for a reason? And the squad
I'll
is
take
rank.
that, Mudryk.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll do it,
yeah.
but hey, he's there. Let's hope the birthday boy one day after does well. So we'll do some quick fire questions and then we will leave you to do whatever you're doing with your day, listeners. So, Christmas questions. We've got Molly asking, are we in FFP trouble at the moment? If not now, when we'll be in trouble? I kind of feel that the noise out of the club is that we're fine. That's the noise. And I mean, without working in the boardroom, we just got to take that as the truth.
Or is it that everything's fine? And everything's on
I
fire?
think in regards to the previous stuff that it's been brought to light by Clear Lake, so those like alleged payments and stuff, we've no idea. Could take years. You know, Man City's case has gone on and on and on, and yeah, I think that's it really. So, yeah. This one, everyone. Josh has asked, what are the worst Chelsea kits of all time?
Of all time, it's a tough one, but do you know what? I really remember hating the black and orange one under Lampard's first tenure.
I like that
yeah,
one.
I remember now.
Orange for me is orange for me
Ooh.
for a Chelsea kit is a very jarring color, and the square collar was horrible on that kit specifically.
Yeah.
The other one for me is that one home kit. It was a couple of years ago. Not sure which one. It was like the checkered one with like had loads of yellow on it. That was
21-22.
Yeah.
No, again, I like that one. I like
that's
that
on
one.
my list. That's on my list because that was awful.
I think last year's one was terrible. Last year's home one.
It's
kit,
on
I thought
mine.
was awful.
Which
With
one
the
was
collar.
that?
I liked last year's one.
No, I didn't like the collar. I'll tell you what kit is terrible as well. It doesn't get talked about enough. When Petr Cech wore all orange, like luminous orange.
Yeah, just orange is so jarring, man.
That is literally one of the worst kits I've ever seen.
He should have done the full
I will
scrum cap
run with
too.
this.
He really
I've got
should have.
the 2020-21 third strip. That's the Crystal Palace one. It's a standout winner because that cannot look good even in hindsight. And my dishonourable mentions, just based on my taste, was last season's home kit, yes. 15-16 home kit, and here's a retro throwback, the 93-94 goalkeeper second kit. And if you think, well, I can't imagine what that could be. It's in the 90s. It's like someone got drunk and did a spirograph over an orange. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? There's a theme here, and it's the colour orange.
What have you got, Chris?
I've got the 10-11 home kit that had like the red on the back of the collar.
That was not good.
Yeah, that was controversial at the time. If I
didn't
remember.
really like that. The 2000-2001 away kit that was orange and blue, which is just two colours that should never be together.
Orange.
07-08 away, the fluorescent yellow with the black
that's a
weird
classic.
things on it.
Classic.
That
I
like
like
It's
that
great. It's great
I like
for the
that
game, and it's great on building sites.
Yeah. 18-19 third kit that was like grey, and it had like a
Oh no!
Dean of London on it or something.
I remember that.
Like the ice blue one.
Yeah,
Ice blue.
Is that the one that looked like corrugated
sort
iron?
of.
Or was
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was okay.
And 21-22 third kit that was like camouflage and orange again.
I thought that was alright.
Finally, Kayla has asked, in Chelsea's utopia, every player's healthy. I like this. I like this utopia. Who's your starting 11? I will quickly run through mine. I've got 4-2-3-1. I don't know. No one will ever play this formation, but hey, I've got Petrovic, Chilwell, Silva, Colwill. Yes, he's a centre back. Reece James. Then I've got Caicedo, Gallagher, then Palmer, Mudryk and Madueke on the wings, and Nkunku up top. That's based on what we've got. I know Jackson's not in there. I really feel guilty now I've said that, but I can't.
Do you know what? I was finding it hard to do this as well because you feel like no matter what, you leave one person out who you think probably deserves to play.
It's so tough. It could be Mudryk and Nkunku and Madueke switching with Jackson. That's the problem. It's that front three. It rotates so well. So, yeah.
I mean, I think you go Petrovic, James, Thiago Silva, Badia Chilwell, Caicedo. Oh, that midfield's horrible, you know. Just you need Caicedo in there. But then I put Enzo 6. Fuck it. We'll put Caicedo and Gallagher in there, and then we'll put Nkunku in the 10, Cole Palmer on the right. Left, I'd go. For the future, I'd probably go Mudryk on the left. And
Okay,
Jackson
Ollie.
front.
That's a fair one. I've gone with a 3-3-1-3 to get everyone in.
Is ridiculous.
No, it's basically a 3-4-3 with a diamond midfield. And what is it? So it's Petrovic in goal, Badiashile is left centre back, Silva is centre back, Reece James right centre back, Enzo is the 6, Gallagher and Caicedo as the 2 box-to-box players, and Nkunku is the attacking midfielder that completes the tip of the diamond. Mudryk on the left, Palmer on the right, Jackson up front.
And Chris.
I've gone with a 3-4-3. So Petrovic in goal, James, Silva, and Colwill as the 3 centre backs, Gusto and Chilwell as the wing backs, Gallagher and Caicedo in the middle, Palmer and Nkunku behind Jackson.
Fair enough. So
I like that team. And Chris is an actual.
We
coach
will.
as well, so.
We will find out about Lone Army next week because of the time. Rankings is always a long one. So Berth will have to wait. So he's got to be on next week. Listeners, that means we're at the end of episode. Thank you for listening and look after yourself this year. We'll be back Monday to discuss those winners and losers from a big FA Cup game. Big game. Hopefully we're not knocked out. So till next time, that'll be us signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.